everybody, it's Adele. Welcome to my channel, Sew for Serenity. Happy Friday everybody, can't believe it's finally here. This is my channel where I talk about my love for dressmaking, all things sewing, fabrics, patterns and just general sewing chit chat. So if that's something you sound interested in, please keep watching. Welcome back to all my regular viewers, and if you're new here, I hope you enjoy my vlog, and please, if you don't subscribe already, please consider subscribing. So this is my #Friday Sews vlog where I talk to you about what I've been doing this week. Friday Sews was the brainchild of Jen from Jen's Sewing Room, so I'd just like to say thank you for her for creating this hashtag, because it's really bringing the sewing community together. So then, what have I been up to this week? Well, as I said in my last vlog, I was away at the weekend at a wedding, so was in Manchester, so I haven't done any sewing over the weekend. So yeah, I was itching to get back and do some sewing, but it was really, really nice going to a wedding. Haven't been to a wedding for absolutely years because of COVID. And it was so nice to just have some normality. In the UK, I don't know what it's like everywhere else. You know, the rules have been quite strict, and it's only just recently that they've been eased. So it was really, really lovely that there was no social distancing, there was no masks being worn, and it just felt normal, to be honest with you. And I just really appreciated it and enjoyed it. So yeah, it was lovely. And it really got me excited about my own wedding, which is coming up in May. You know, I never really thought it was ever going to happen when it got postponed a few times. So now it kind of feels real. So it was really exciting to start visualising my own wedding. So other things that have been happening this week, the conservatory is well underway. What I'll do is I've just took some footage, I'll insert the footage and I'll talk you through kind of what the plans are. So I'll do that now. So these are the doors out into the conservatory. Very messy garden at the moment. This is the one side of the wall. So this is the plan, to have the wall like this so that I can put shelving and everything up for my sewing stuff. And then obviously this will all be windows as per a conservatory. So yeah, windows are all being delivered on Monday, so hopefully next week it will look a little bit more like a conservatory. So that's really exciting. I can't wait to get my own sewing space, because I think it's just make my vlogging, my sewing, just the whole experience just much easier. At the moment I have to pack everything away, get everything out, and it's, you know what it's like. Sometimes when you're halfway through a project, you just want to leave it and come back to it and pick it up. So yeah, so things are coming along really well with the conservatory build. But we had a storm here in the UK last week, which meant the weather was really awful. We weren't too badly affected where I am, but I know up north and down south there's some very, very heavy winds, rain, etc. But it did actually stop some of the building work happening. All of the conservatory should be doing it next week or so that should be really exciting. Okay, so what have I been doing this week? Well, what I'm actually wearing is my first make this week. It's actually the Grainline Studio Linden sweatshirt, which is really, really popular. I've been wanting to make this for a while. I think it's a brilliant way to use up scrap fabrics. Michelle from Sewing Bunny, she makes these all the time with, like I've done, with this contrasting arms with a different fabric for the front and the back bodice piece, and that's because it's a great way to use up scraps. So if you haven't quite got enough material to make the whole sweatshirt, you can do this really nice effect with the colour blocking, and I really, really like it. I've used this fabric, which is a black French terry, which I've had in my stash. It was quite a cheap French terry actually that I got. I can't even remember where I got it from. And I used that for the neckband and the waistband and the cuffs. The fabric for the main part of the shirt is this lovely, I think it's cheetahs or leopards, leopard print. I'll stand up so you can have a look at it. It's a lovely fit. And then you can just see the animals there. So yeah, this was from Flamingo Fabrics, which do really cool prints, and I got this in the sale a while back. I did share it on one of my I think it was my Boxing Day stash. It was my Boxing Day fabric haul that I showed you it, so I can't remember what the price is off the top of my head, but it wasn't too expensive. But I only got a metre of it, so I thought this was a perfect fabric to try all this in. So yeah, the Grainline Studios Linden sweatshirt is this one. So I made view A, which is a long sleeve, but they do the t-shirt version as well. And obviously, depending on what fabric you use, you'll get a different look. I've used obviously cotton jersey and French terry, so it's not too thick. I made the size, let's have a look. I made the size 4, which was a bust of 34, a waist of 27 and a hip of 37. So I've got, my proportions are a bit strange. I'm an exactly a 34 bust and a 37 hip, but my waist is a 29. I haven't got much definition there, but I checked the finish measurements, and the finish measurements, they didn't have a waist measurement on there, and I think when you don't have a waist measurement, it kind of tells you it's not really that important. So the hip measurement finish was 37 and the bust was 40, so I kind of felt that that was going to be okay for me, so I went with the straight 4, and I'm really happy with it. The only thing I think I might do differently next time is just take the arms. Some people like their arms like that, and I don't dislike it, but I think if I took an inch out, it would make those sleeves fit perfectly, I think. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Didn't have any problems with this pattern. Instructions were really great. It's classed as a beginner, which I agree with. The only trouble that I had with it was my neckband. This French terry isn't that stretchy. I don't think it's 20%. If you stretch it, it's, you know, got hardly any stretch in it. So I used it for the neckband and it was fine, but because the cotton jersey is much stretchier, it's quite hard to manipulate the fabric to get it in. I did in the end, but if I did it again, I probably would use cuffing or maybe use the cotton jersey, which was a bit stretchier for the neckband. So yeah, it's the only problem I had, and that problem was of my own doing anyway because of the fabric that I chose. I'm going to make lots of these, I think, because they're just so lovely. Really comfy, and yeah, I definitely recommend this make. And as I say, it's a great way of using up scrap fabric. So that was my Linden sweatshirt. Right, my next make is sitting just here, as you can see. So this make is the Saltwater Slip by Friday Pattern Company. This is the one here. I've made it in this fabric, which is the Cheetin Heart from Fabric Godmother, which is a beautiful fabric. The green is in my colour palette from Sew Your Colours, so I chose that, and I thought this fabric, it's like a satin fabric, it would be lovely for a slip dress. Right, where do I start with this pattern? I've got a love-hate relationship with this pattern. I really like the finished garment. The style's really lovely. It's comfy. I went with the long option. There's two different, just get the line drawing. There's two different versions there. There's the long one with or without ties, and I went for the ties to nip in the waist, or there's the short version. So I did the long version with the ties, which is how I create that nipped in waist. And that's really because I don't have much waist definition, so I feel like I like that. I'll put a picture in. The reason why I've got a love-hate relationship with this make is, although I enjoy the finished article, I did not enjoy the sewing process at all. It was really fiddly. I didn't really understand why we were doing some of the things we were doing. They seemed unnecessary. And yeah, I just really didn't enjoy it. So I'll break that down with what I mean. So first of all, the straps are made like bra straps. I'll just see if I can show you with the camera. So they're a little bra strap kind of thing here. And I really don't understand why that's required. I just think it's an unnecessary addition to a very simple slip dress. If I made this again, I just wouldn't bother with them. I'd just measure the strap and make sure it fit me. You know, your shoulders don't change. It was very fiddly. It was a bit of a pain trying to threading it through. There's a complicated way that you thread it through, thread it back through and stitch it in. And yeah, I just think it was really, really necessary. It doesn't create a nicer finish, I don't think. You know, I just couldn't see any reason why that's required. So I definitely would remove that step going forward. It's not needed for me anyway. I'm not a lover of bias binding and finishing the seams with bias binding, although I do think it looks pretty. And how it works is I had to make my own bias binding, and I did share that I'd purchased a bias binding making kit. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right size. I needed to get a different size, so I made the bias binding myself with the iron, the old-fashioned way. And there's this one piece here which is for the neckline, and then there's a big long piece that starts at the back and comes all the way up, and it does make a really beautiful finish. I'll just show you just there. It's nice, I do like it, but it was just very, very fiddly. I don't really like finishing with bias binding. You know, you've got to make sure you catch. Considering this is classed as I think a confident beginner, having to make sure you catch the other side of the bias binding, that's quite hard to do, especially when you've made the bias binding yourself, because, you know, it's got to be exactly even. So I didn't enjoy that process. Making the bias binding itself, because it's so long, took forever. And then the other thing which I didn't really understand is the ties are really lovely addition, and I think they need it on the dress. But again, the ties are made in a bias binding way. So you make the bias binding, fold it over and then sew down. I don't understand why we didn't just sew it, fold it in half, right sides together, and then with a loop turner, turn it inside out. I suppose it's to get this flat effect, but yeah, that was fiddly as well. I don't know, I just really didn't like this pattern. I might be, again, you know, I've not heard many people say they don't like this pattern. I think I'm like the only person. I think because I've just done the Sicily slip dress quite recently and I really enjoyed that sew, I am comparing them both. And yeah, give me the Sicily slip dress every day over this. It was much more enjoyable sew. I enjoyed it. It was beautifully finished. And although I like the style of this dress more, I preferred the making process of the Sicily slip dress. So yeah, good other things that are good about this pattern. The instructions are fairly good. It doesn't take up loads of fabric, which was nice. You can make the, in my size, you can make the size small in a wide fabric in 1.7, and the short dress you can make in 1 meter, which, well, 0.9, which is fabulous. So if you've got 0.9 of fabric, you can get an actual slip dress out of it, which I think is really, really good. So yeah, so overall, I'm going to enjoy wearing it. I've inserted a photograph of me wearing it, but no, I didn't enjoy the process. The fabric might have played a part in that because it was very slippery. Maybe if I did it in a different fabric, a viscose, it might be better, but I don't know. Jury's out. I won't be making it anytime soon, but I might revisit it maybe in the future. So that's the Saltwater Slip. Right, the next couple of things that I've made are children's clothes. A few of you have asked me about children's clothes, and it's something I've never wanted to do before. When I first started my sewing journey, I bought quite a lot of kids fabric, well, not quite a lot, a few items of children's fabric, because I had these grand ideas before I really understood what went into making clothes, of making my little baby some clothes. And then when I started my sewing journey, I just never really appealed to me. But recently I've been inspired by Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne, who makes lots of clothes for her little one, and she started up her own business as well, making baby clothes. And one of the patterns that she's talked about, or a couple of the patterns that she's talked about, are the Waves and Wild patterns for her little boy. So I took a look at that last week, and I shared with you that I'd purchased the Explorer raglan tee from Waves and Wild, and also, just referring to my notes, the Harem pants as well. Now these patterns, I'll insert photographs, these patterns are from very good value for money, because they're 12 Australian dollars, which converts into UK British pounds, £6.46 per pattern. But the pattern covers from a premature baby up to 12 years old. So I think that's really, really good value for money, especially when you're purchasing it as a PDF. You can print off all the different sizes as the child grows. So that was really good. So the first make that I've got, and I'll put a picture of my little girl in it. My little girl's called Alice, and she's actually 2 on Monday. So it's her birthday this week. We're having a birthday party this weekend for her, just with a few family round really. But yeah, the first thing I made her was the raglan tee in the leftover Little Johnny jersey, tie-dye psychedelic jersey. And I made her the raglan tee, and I just did the cuffing for the neckband, sorry, the neckband in the same fabric, and that's worked really well. And this is the t-shirt, and this is just pajamas for her really. And these are the trousers, and I really like these trousers. They're great because obviously she's still got a nappy, so there's loads of room in the bottom for it. A lovely waistband that's really comfy, that you can pull up quite high around her tummy, and she looked absolutely adorable. There's a picture of her looking really cute. And the other thing that I did is I got these beautiful Just Like Mummy, yeah, Just Like Mummy labels that I got from, where did I get them from? I got them from Sew Anonymous, and I did some stitching, some decorative stitching, because I've actually put it on the outside of the top. And the reason why I put it on the outside of the top is, if you have watched some of my previous vlogs, I made myself some pajamas in this fabric as well, and haven't worn them together with her yet, so I have got pictures separately of us but not together, so maybe that'll be something I'll try and get a picture of. But yeah, those were lovely, really quick to make. I made them all on the overlocker, and yeah, really, really simple, lovely pattern. I made the size, I think I made the size 18 to 24 months, because she's not big for her age, and she's not too tall or anything. So yeah, she's still kind of in that age range, although she's 2 in a week. So yeah, they were really lovely, and I got so much enjoyment out of seeing her in them that it really did kind of ignite something in me to make more children's clothes. So that's something that I'll probably do a little bit more of, because they're quick sews, and they're also quite rewarding. And after having, you know, not having so much fun making this one, it's actually quite nice to reset by doing a simple project that you know works really well. So that was that. I would definitely recommend the Waves and Wild patterns. I'm going to look at some of their other ones and perhaps order some of those in the future. So that was that. The other pattern that I made from Waves and Wild was for Alice again, and it was the free pattern, which is the Crowning Glory pattern, and I've got an actual print out of that here. So this is a crown made out of fabric, that is a free pattern, as I say. You get it in a ribbon, elastic or Velcro fixing for around the head. I went with the Velcro because then I thought it could just be adjusted quite easily. And I got this idea from Liz, the baker that sews, had made some at Christmas. I remember thinking how brilliant they were. She made them for her children in their school play. And then also Claire from Stitch Hem Sew had made one for her son's birthday. And I thought that was a fabulous idea. So I've made one for Alice's birthday, and this is it. It's so cute. So we're kind of doing a bit of a safari theme for her. She loves animals, and the balloons that I've ordered are all kind of safari related. She loves monkeys, lions, etc. So this is her crown that I made in these beautiful fat quarters with the number 2 on. And yeah, it's Velcro at the back, it's reversible, it's got this lovely pattern on the other side, and I think she's going to look really cute. I mean, how long she'll keep this on for, I don't actually know, but I'll try and get a photograph of her in it. Obviously, I haven't got a picture of her yet because it's not a birthday till Monday, but I'll get a picture of her when we have the party on Sunday. And I'll obviously put that on my Instagram, and I'll share it with you in my vlog next week. So yeah, that was really cute. Dead quick to make. Great idea for fat quarters. The pattern actually covers from baby up to adult. I think this would be a really, really nice thing to do for Christmas Day. Making everybody around the table a Christmas hat. And I think I'm going to use some of the fat quarters in a So Hailey Jane December box that are all Christmas related, and they're really, really nice. So I'm going to perhaps put them aside and use them at Christmas to make everybody a party hat, because I think that'd be really nice. Because I don't know about you, but those paper party hats that you get in the crackers never fit on my head. I think I've got a big head, but anyway. So yeah, that was really lovely. I can't wait to see her in it. And then the final thing that I made, and again this was for Alice, is a pattern by Sew Over It, but it's the children's pattern, the Pansy Dress by Sew Over It. And this is for 0 to 6 years, and it was £7.50. And I had some beautiful fabric that I bought ages ago in a little like lion print, which goes with the safari theme. So I ended up making a little dress for her. You know, it's just a play dress, it's nothing too posh, but yeah, this is the dress that I've made for her in this lovely lion print in green. I think green really looks lovely on her. And again, I made the 18 to 24 months, and I just kind of held it up against some of her dresses that she got in her wardrobe, and this seemed to be the better fit than the 2 to 3. The 2 to 3 would have been too big for her. Same fabric for the neckband, it's just a hem on the bottom, hem on the cuffs, and then I've got this lovely little tag that I got from Little Rosy Cheeks that says made by mummy, which is really, really cute. So that is her party outfit, I suppose. Very safari themed, very gender neutral. I'm not too into pinks, etc. I like more of the neutral colours for Alice, and yeah, I think she's going to look really cute in that, and I hope she likes it. Again, very, very simple sew, really nice instructions. I'm going to check out a few more of Sew Over It's Poppy and Jazz patterns, because I think they're really nice. Not as great a range on the ages as there is with the Waves and Wild, but you know, still up to 6 years old is fairly good. So yeah, that's brilliant too. So that's all I've made this it's all I've made this week. Not had loads of sewing time, and also this took me forever to do. So you know, I don't know about you, when you're not really enjoying a project, you don't really have that drive to sew as much, so that might have got in the way a little bit, but at least I've got a couple of makes to show you. So what are my plans for this week ahead? Well, I'm not going anywhere at the weekend, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more sewing done this weekend. So the first thing that I want to do is, I have had printed out and cut out, in fact, all in here, the new pattern from Tilly and the Buttons, which is the pearl cardigan, which, there we go. So it's the pearl cardigan, which is just all over Instagram at the moment, and loads of people have made this. Now, I've got this fabric cut out in this beautiful, you guessed it, leopard print mustard jacquard knit. Oh, bear with me. Just show you. I have shown this before, but so yeah, that's like a really lovely fabric. Now, the reason why I hadn't made this was because I was going to do it as a sew along. When I've been trying to do it, I just haven't really got the space here to make the best of the sew along. So what I've thought is, I'm not going to do any sew alongs until I'm in my sewing space, because you know, I cut out on the floor at the moment, I've got quite a cramped sewing area, and it's just, when I was trying to get the camera angles to show what I was doing, it was just very faffy, and I just wasn't confident that it would be the best sew along really, and I don't want to put stuff out there that isn't going to be helpful. So I apologise that this won't be a sew along, but I'll get it sewed up and I'll share my thoughts on it. And then once my sewing space is set up, which hopefully will be done in March, I will be able to do some sew alongs to show you the sewing process and how I do things, because I think they're really interesting, and I like watching them myself. So yeah, so that's my first plan, is to get this sewn up, because I'm very jealous of everybody's pearl cardigans, and I just love the fact it's called a pearl cardigan. My grandma was called Pearl, and we used to call her Pearly Whirly. And she was such a lovely lady. And every time I hear the word pearl, it just reminds me of her. So I just think it'd be really nice to have a cardigan called the pearl cardigan to wear. So yeah, that's my first plan. My next plan is, I've got this fabric here, which was from Guthrie and Garney, which has been washed. I haven't done a lot of sewing this week, but I have done a lot of washing of fabric. So I have shared this on one of my fabric hauls. It's this lovely white fleece back sweatshirting that I got from Guthrie and Garney, and it was kind of damaged stock, but you can't actually see the fault in it, so that's great. And I want to just make a Billy sweatshirt, but the shorter version, not the dress version, and maybe just with the plain arm. I just want a simple sweatshirt in this white and a quick winsew. So I've got the Billy pattern all cut out already, so that should be quick to get done. Oh, I've actually found the damage there now. I couldn't find it before, but you can just see it's only this one area. Can you see that, where it's just bled the pattern, but the rest of it's fine. So hopefully I can avoid that section of it. So yeah, that's the Billy sweatshirt that I'd like to make with that. And then I've got both versions. The next thing that I want to make this week is the sagebrush top by Friday Pattern Company. My experience with this dress has not put me off Friday Pattern Company. They're an amazing pattern company, and I love their patterns, and I love all their garments. So yeah, it's not put me off at all. And as I say, I do actually love the dress, I just didn't like the process. So I've got a couple of fabrics that I'm not sure which one to make the sagebrush in, so please let me know what your thoughts are. I've got this lovely viscose in like an animal, of course it's animal print, but it's like an animal print heart. You can see the hearts in it. And I've got about 1.7 meters of this, 1.5 meters. And that's in my colours as well. So I want to make a sagebrush in this, or, again, that's washed and ready to go, this beautiful fabric that I got from Blackbird Fabrics, which is this gingham, but this gingham with this beautiful embroidery on it, which again I think will look, I've seen quite a few sagebrushes in gingham and they look really, really good, and I'm thinking this would be beautiful as well. So let me know your thoughts. I think at the moment I'm going to go with this one. The thing that's putting me off using this is I did order enough just to make the sagebrush, but I must have got the end of bolt, so she actually gave me 1.8 meters. So I'm kind of thinking now, would it be better to use this for something that took a little bit more fabric, and you do the sagebrush in something else? So yeah, that's kind of what my quandary is around this. Do I save this for something else? And I've just had an idea in my head. One of the other things that I've purchased this week is the indigo. So I've joined the bandwagon because I've always looked at this pattern and not thought I've liked it. I thought it's a bit frumpy. But actually I've seen so many lovely versions of it. I just think this picture doesn't do it justice. And I've seen so many lovely versions of it on Instagram and on other people's vlogs, and I'm going to give it a go. And actually, I'm thinking this would be lovely with the flounce sleeve, because that takes 1.7. So maybe I pair that with that, and I do the sagebrush in this. I don't know, that's just come to me as I've been talking, so let me know your thoughts. And then the final thing, I know I've got a lot on my list this week, my final thing that I've got, and I don't think I'll get this made up, but I want to try and find a pattern for it, is, again, when I purchased all this fabric, when I had these plans of doing loads of baby clothes, I purchased 1 metre of this needle cord in this beautiful like burgundy colour with these rainbows on it. And I think in my head, my vision was to do some beautiful little dungarees for Alice. It's needle cord, baby cord, and yeah, I just haven't found a pattern for it yet. So I can't remember where I got this fabric from. It was a while back, but I've got 1 metre of that, which I think I could get out some lovely little dungarees. So yeah, anybody who's got any recommendations for a dungaree pattern that's not too complicated, that's got a nice fit for a babe, for a 2-year-old, let me know, because that's what this is going to go for. But I don't think I'll get that made this week. Right, so that's it from me this week. I hope you've enjoyed my vlog. I hope you've enjoyed my makes, and please post some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you've been up to. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. I'm Sofa Serenity on Instagram as well. I do post my makes up on Instagram as and when they're completed, so if you want to get early sight of anything that I make, you can see that on Instagram. I'm Sofa Serenity on Instagram, and I love the community that's on there as well. I enjoy chatting with you all through Instagram and YouTube, so please reach out if you want to have a chat about anything or have any questions. And the final thing that I wanted to just call out at the end of this vlog is, as I mentioned earlier, I've been introduced to lots of new channels lately. In the YouTube forum, and somebody that I wanted to mention that I've been really enjoying their vlogs. They're a very, very new YouTuber, and the lady that I wanted to mention is called Crystal. She's absolutely lovely. She has been watching my vlogs, always comments and says lovely things, and she's got her own vlog that she launched in December, I think, called My Social Thread, which I think is a lovely name for and it's social spelled S-E-W. I'll link her YouTube channel in the show notes. If you enjoy my style of vlog, the chatty style, you know, a bit of sewing, a bit of life, then you'll really like hers. I binge watched all of her videos the other day and really liked them. She's got 8 children. 8 children. I hope she doesn't mind me telling you all. And her youngest is 9 months old, and she still managed to get all this sewing done. Absolutely amazing. So if you don't already, check her out, follow her, and give her some love, because it's a really, really great channel. And this is what this sewing community is about just helping each other, supporting each other, and sharing all the great sewing stuff that's going on in the world. So yeah, please check her out if you don't already. So that's all from me for this week. If you've liked this video, please click the like button. If you don't subscribe, please click the subscribe button. Every subscriber helps, and I'm slowly mounting up there. My next target is 2,000 followers. I think I'm on 1,300 now, so I'm not far off. So please, if you don't already, please consider subscribing. Yeah, and I hope you get lots of sewing done this week. And that's all from me. So happy sewing. Bye.